All right, so the only reason I feel the need to upload a video today, it's November 12th, is to just, I guess, point out some of the synchronicities that are involved. Um, the show on the TV there, This Is the End, is a horrible movie on Netflix. I've seen just enough to determine this is one that no one should watch. It is terribly blasphemous and crude. It's supposed to be stupid humor around the end times, the Revelations version of the end times, and it's profane and crude, and you don't want to watch it. But the synchronicity here is today is November 12th, and on the TV there, the timestamp is 11:12. Actually, you could probably bump it to 11:11, which is another big number game thing here, and it'd probably be the same basic frame. But also, I caught this yesterday, not today. But regardless of that, there's a huge Mandela effect at the point at this point of this particular movie, and of all the things we talk about, the Mandela effect being a sign of the end times, and for this, like, this is a top 10 type Mandela effect. This is like in the list of Mandela effects that are well known. This has to be in the top 10. We should do a top 10 list of popularity of huge Mandela effects sometime, but this is definitely one of those that's in the top 10. And it is at a unique position in the movie, and This Is the End, the title. It's almost as if reality is doing this. Sometimes it feels, the synchronicities feel like it's either trolling, practical joke, inside joke, mocking, or less nefarious might be just in hopes of getting people to notice the synchronicities and to notice these type of events. Maybe it's not so malicious, but sometimes it feels like it's poking. When this Mandela effect thing all started with me, I saw that a lot. It happened so much it felt like, and it would happen around my unique situation and circumstances. So it would feel almost like these changes were directed and timed many times. I mean, it's so directed and timed that it felt like it was too personal, too too direct towards me. Sorry about the house being a bit of a mess. It's a little bit wet outside, and dog likes to jump on the sofa, so I cover it with blankets. But anyway, the synchronicity of this whole thing is just what gets me. Back when I was first heavily Mandela affected in the Christmas season, I'm not going to say holiday season ever again, the Christmas season of 2016, the election campaign with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump there was this big deal about a Mandela effect that was well known and talked about on Reddit and YouTube and whatnot was Hillary Clinton's name spelling. Because at the time it was spelled with one L, and so many people were voicing that they remembered and were certain that her name was spelled with two L's. And this isn't like just a memory thing. This was like every day you're seeing her name constantly in campaigns, bumper stickers, news, TV ads. It was just constant. So there was no getting around, what her spelling of her name was. You knew. And then it flipped and it went back to two L's. And it's interesting because, that when that changed, all of the discussions that I recalled and went back to find, they were gone. Everything was gone. It was like it never happened. I even made a remark on social media that day because I saw that her name was spelled with two L's, and I thought it was just somebody remembering the old way, kind of like their mistake. And I said, looks like somebody remembers her being spelled with two L's in her name, and that post was removed administratively by Facebook or supernaturally from above there, but it was removed, or I was removed from that particular reality. I don't know, but by the evening, it was election evening. It was that evening. I noticed that they kept referring to her with two L's, and I thought maybe it's not just a mistake. Maybe things have switched, and sure enough, everything had changed. It was two L's. Now the thing during that election that stood out as kind of like a poke, a jab, an inside joke, an Easter egg, whatever you want to call it, was the Time magazine cover during that time was Hillary and Trump both on the cover of Time magazine, and they were holding up a sign saying the end is near. And so that the reason I'm bringing up the whole Hillary thing is this whole apocalyptic end is near theme has been pushed in a way. In my opinion, it's been pushed by reality itself. Like there's somebody wanting to grab our attention because it's just too synchronistic and it's too in our face. Another thing that I noticed too is like all the movie previews at that time of year. You'd see all these little clips of movies, like whoever was advertising their movie lineup and all their classics, and all the classics were given their quotes, but the quotes were, you know, the current situation, the current reality, the current whatever you want to call it. The quotes were not what we remembered them being, and these were iconic quotes from huge movies that everybody knew very well. So it was almost as if reality itself was like trying to slap us in the face and saying, "Don't you remember?" Or it was just picking on us and saying, "Ha ha," and see how things have changed. And you can't do anything about it. Who knows? I mean, it's all based on your interpretation of what reality's intention is here. So who's to say? Who's to say? But just to get back to this synchronistic clip here, time stamped at 11:12. Do not watch this show, but of course it's talking about the Forrest Gump movie, and of course there's kind of a suggestion there that life was a certain way, but we are in a new reality now, or a new world, and life was rather than life is. But listen to the comment. And this movie is full of well-known actors and actresses. It's just such of a horrible movie, but here's the Forrest Gump Mandela effect. Sorry, having trouble getting it going.
No, it's a horrendous piece of shit.
Life is like a box of chocolates, no?
You know what?
Life is like a box of chocolates. No. And he says, no, I'm familiar with it. And the synchronicities, the whole life is like a box of chocolates thing coming up, all of it just feels too directed at all of us. So that's why I'm sharing this particular video at this particular time. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks, and God bless.